So, hello and welcome. In previous lectures, we have covered that what are the state, what are the probes, and what is how can we pass the state as a probe, and how can we change the value of the state in the component in which we have passed these states as probes. Like how can we change the state in the child component, and what is the effect if we change the state in the child component. But we have missed an important term and an important concept over here, which is very very important from the interview perspective as well. So this is one of the important questions from the reactjs or the the front end interviews. So what is basically the probe drilling? So we know that we are passing the state in the garage component, which is called in the car component, and we saw that if we change the value in the garage component, the effect will be uprooted, and it will cause to re-render the car component, and consequently the garage component will be re-rendered as well. So let's make another component, which is, let's say it is child a dot js, and we have child a equals arrow function notation, and return, and what we will return is we will return in bold what we will return a simple text. I am child a. We will export so that we can use this component in some other component or files as well. Export default child a, right? I am child a. Similarly, we will define some other files as well. Child b dot js. So b child b. Similarly, child, let's rename it to child c, and it is child c, and we have child c over here. I am child c. I am child b. Right, and let's do it in this way. In child c, we will update the value, right? Prop, and we will do it like this: console.log. I am in child c component, and in this component we will print I am in child b component, and in this component we will print on console I am in child a component, right? So similarly, prop, and we will pass the prop over here as well, and sorry, so we will simply call the child b, right? So we'll call the child b, and we will import the child b over here from dot slash. So we don't have child b. Yes, we so we okay. So we will call the child c over here, child c, and we will pass the prop. Sorry, we will pass. We will firstly call the import child a over here. We want, let's say we want that this the prop we are changing in the garage component, we want that we that child c changes it, right? So we have passed the prop over here, which is the set brand, right? So what we will do, we will get this over here. we are in the garage component, and now so we will change it in, so we will change it in this component, right? But we have to pass the prop first. So if I call the child a component over here, we have to pass the prop, which is set brand equals what, prop dot set brand, right? In a similar way, we are getting the brand over here, and we want that we want that we call the child b over here. Okay, and we want to pass the prop in a similar way. Import child b over here and call it and pass the props like this. In child b, we will call the child c, and we will just pass the props like this, child c, and we will do it like this, and in child c we will do like this. So I am child b. So we don't have to like print this I am child c because we are printing on the console, so we will get an idea in which component we are in, right? So now, so what we are doing over here, we in the car component, we have the state like brand and model. In the garage component, we are call in the car component, we are calling the garage component, passing the prop brand and set brand function. Set brand is basically the setter method for the state. In the garage component, we are calling the child a and passing the setter method, and in the child a we are calling the child b and passing the prop, which is the setter method, and in child b we are doing the same, and child c we are actually changing the value. So as I said that the this is the basically the it will cause the prop drilling, because from the parent component we are passing the prop to the garage, to the child a, to the child b, and to the child c. So when child c will change it, it will affect uprooted, its effect will be uprooted. So it will cause the change in the basically this brand is defined as a state over here, so it will cause the re-render of the car component. So car component will call the garage component and it will be rendered again. It will cause the child a component to render again, it will cause the child b component to render again, and it will cause the child c component to render again. Let me show you now. So basically here you have the output of this, you can see over here. Let me show you. So firstly we are in the car component. In the car component we call the garage component, and in the garage we are doing like this, we are in the garage component. In the garage component we are calling the child a, and it says that I am in child a, it says that I am child b, and finally we are in the child c. So in the child c component we are actually changing the we have the button and we are changing the brand, like, right? So let me remove it. So what it will do, now you can see the brand has been changed to Sonata in this, but it causes the re-rendering of the all these five components. We're in the car component, we're in the garage component, because the brand is defined in the car component. So car, we know that whenever a state changes, it causes the re-rendering of the component. So child car component will be re-rendered, it will cause the re-rendering of the child component. So this is basically the prop drilling. So prop drilling is like passing the props and changing the value of the state in the child components, and it causes the re-rendering of the parent component. So this is basically the re-rendering prop drilling. So to avoid this, we have some methods, and this is not good. We have to use some other technique to avoid this, because let's suppose we have in the parent and in the child component we have some API which is fetching millions of records or thousand of like millions of records. And if the prop drilling is being happened in our application, so it will cause the re-rendering of the application, re-rendering of the components like without any logical reason, and it will cause the it will be very expensive operation for us.